You think about data, though, the main thing to do is follow the money. Right? So what is data all about in the beginning? If we're not talking for scientific purposes, it's typically what we're talking about is money. Now, it used to be that they looked at the whole human, the whole body, and said, well, it's just one big thing. And then they were able, through microscopes and all the rest of it, to go, wait a minute, this thing is made up of you have like organs. You have some different things going on. You have like parts on the inside. It's cool. And so then they start going, oh wow, there's like pieces that bloods, like there's pieces of that. And so what is it really doing? It's breaking down something large into a component piece. And all these little pieces add up to the human body. And then they start finding atomic level atoms and things, and they find subatomic particles. And then if you hang out with Trent long enough, you'll start talking about dark matter. You'll start talking about space between space, the ether that has legitimate mass, and we don't understand it. And so why does any of that even matter? What it really is, what I'm talking about, is taking large things and breaking it down to its component piece. So what we're seeing right now happen just globally in our organization and every organization is that because of technology, we've been able to, just like the microscope allowed us to do certain things, and different pieces of technology is allowing us to do other things, to break our lifestyle, our habits down into component pieces. Now, everyone drove here today, right? Did anyone drive here a different way than you normally drive here? You did. Technically. Barely. Kind of barely. Off a little bit. So 20% did, but 80% did the exact same thing. My bet is you probably, if you brush your teeth, you either probably did it. If you don't come near me. But you either did it before you shower or after you shower every time, or almost every time. And so what am I talking about? You can be broken down into component pieces. I can be broken down into component pieces. We are creatures of habit. We do these things. I get up, I turn the alarm off. I wake up my oldest daughter. I let the dogs out. I do, there's very sequential things. And so why does that matter? Again, it's breaking Mark down into component pieces. Why do people care about that? Well, the reason that this thing cares about that, and that the apps, everything's tracking everything that you do on this, is that they can make money off that. If they know that, would be a crazy example, but if they can get to where they can measure the fact that I go to get dog food and there's no dog food, if Amazon can know that immediately at that point and allow me to transact with them immediately, they're going to make more money. So that's what this whole data thing, a lot of it is about. It's about how they do that. And so you go, all right, well, why would Facebook or why would Google, why would they gather certain information for free? Nobody's doing anything for free. Anybody here willing to work without a paycheck? No. No, me either. Okay. And so no one's doing anything for free. Everything like that, they plan on monetizing. And so why does that matter? Why does it matter to us? To the degree I think that each of us understands this and embraces it, there'll be a direct correlation between that and your earning power 10 years from now. It's super, super important because there's certain processes, there's certain ways that we do things as an organization that, I could give you some ideas, but y'all are in it every day. You know better than I do about breaking down an entire process, a sales process, a new client onboarding process, anything process, and going, okay, what exactly in granular, excruciating detail is happening at each of these steps? How could it be improved? This is exactly what happens in manufacturing environment, has for forever. I went to Wofford. Milliken is major into textiles, and they are major into hiring Wofford grads to come in doing process improvement. Get that stuff in that plant, come out and look like a tennis ball or whatever it is that they're making, faster, cheaper, less steps, all of that. And the same thing works in business processes. I think it's an area, quite frankly, that certainly small to medium-sized organizations are just frankly terrible at, and I used to be as well. It wasn't until I started learning that I had to interact with software developers and they needed explicit details. All right, so if you talk to people in any industry, any business people, certainly anybody in sales that's had experiences with software people, they'll go, they don't know what the hell they're doing. It's impossible. They just are. That is not true. They know how to do exactly what you have the ability to communicate. There's the catch. And so until we change our thinking about taking something that's whole, onboarding a client might have 57 steps with lots of different people interacting with those steps. And so you look at it, and probably the first thing you do in looking at anything like this, trying to improve as an organization, is to figure, does it even make sense to go down that road? You know, it probably doesn't make sense to have a process for getting your coffee in the morning. I guess probably technically I do. I just hit the Starbucks app and bought my coffee and it was sitting right in mobile order, which is a little spotty, but today it was sitting right there for me. For you to make your coffee, it's probably not the right thing to do a process on. Probably the best thing would be to look at things that drive you crazy and take that whole mindset of understanding data, understanding what data points are you receiving from clients. There's an easy way that we fix processes. Clients call and they bawl us out. We go, we might want to fix that. It's a major pressure point quickly. But taking other things too, take the things that require lots of time, lots of energy, can be streamlined, and break them up. And this isn't about perfection. This is just about improving a little bit time after time. And what you'll find as you do that, you'll understand it more. You'll be able to look at something and holistically evaluate a process and break it down into its component pieces and systematize it. And so,
hey, if you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. Give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Let us know what type of content you'd like to see us cover next. Thanks.